was walking up, someone said that this is not going to be, Keith, my colleague, Senator, the representatives from the city and state, that this is not going to be the last. I'll put it another way. This is going to be the first meeting in what is going to be historic change in our country and in our community. I cannot thank the organizers of this meeting enough, because what you are doing on the local level, including our city and state, I am doing in the White House, and having them to put together the type of task force to make certain that all of the resources that are available will be able to be offered to our communities as a package. We have 18 committees in the Congress, and they have 18 million ideas of how we got to get out of this economic rut that we're in. We had the ability to put these things in an economic recovery package in the House, in the Senate, and in the White House. But just as you are here this morning saying, well, what does that mean? We are putting together a legislative task force to make certain that when the package comes, the mayors and the governors will know exactly what they mean. Scott Stringer said, the package is not coming to you. I cannot emphasize that enough, because you don't put dynamic change just on paper. And we are so far ahead in having the competencies of economic development packages on our local community boards, and having a dynamic borough president, and having a mayor that knows how to reach out, and having a governor that will be putting together the package. If nothing happens this morning except each one will designate the person that we'll be working with, you can bet your life Washington will be there as relates to our delegation to see that we get a fair advantage as we go down the line. Our New York delegation was absolutely fantastic, and the resources that came in different ways. But to give you just a snapshot of where our country is, that last year, when we found that a group of greedy scoundrels have really taken the American people's investments and packaged them in such a way that the resources did not really come anywhere near the amount of money that was invested. When that house of cards fell down, it fell down in every community, not only in housing, but spread to small businesses, and it caused an avalanche of increases in employment throughout this country, which has impacted the entire world. We were told that $700 billion would be able to turn this around. When asked how and when, they said, we can't promise you that. All we can promise you is that if you don't put up the money, the economic sky will collapse and we'll never see a civilized world as we know it. Well, we said you'll have the first $350 billion. They've taken that, they haven't explained. They won't even say who is responsible or who is receiving the money. And along came Barack Obama and said enough. And so they will not be getting money until we're able to determine what they're going to do with it, who is responsible for it, and to make certain that if you take the money, you loan the money so that our small businesses can survive. That is attacking the problem from the top. But most of you know that if you lost your job, your pride, the ability to keep your kids in school, if you lost the ability to put food on the table, put clothes on your kids' back, that's the kind of pain, and this is the type of dignity that's lost. And this is the package that we'll be talking about today, tomorrow, or next week, so that our not-for-profits, our community organizations can see what opportunities are there and be able to help. The most explosive part of this package will be the tens of billions of dollars that will be going toward education. We're going to have to bring our union teachers, our non-union teachers, our university teachers, and Teachers College, which which I'll be going to now, to make certain that our teachers know how to teach. It is not going to be enough to talk about the breakdown in the family and the obstacles that are there. This is a nation that's in trouble when over half of our kids are unable to compete. And if we're going to maintain our leadership in commerce and international trades, our kids have to think. And they're going to have to think in terms of not the society just that we know. But our dependency on fossil fuel has caused tens of thousands of Americans to die because our dependency on oil has caused a foreign policy that we all as Americans ought to be ashamed of. There are things out there that our brains can tell us, whether it's in the water, whether it's in the wind, whether it's in the sun, that when John F. Kennedy said that we were going to put a man on the moon, I thought he had lost his mind. To think that a human being could leave this planet, go into space, and land on another planet. Well, I'm telling you, when we say that we're going to change the economy for lack of dependency and break through these scientific barriers to clean the atmosphere, you can't do this just by giving pretty speeches. Our schools have to start in kindergarten saying, yes, we can. And that has to be felt in every community, in every college, in every university, if this planet is going to survive. Other incentives that we're going to have is for our small businesses. They can't wait for relief on the top. If you're not buying, if you're not purchasers, if goods and services are not being sold, they cannot employ people from our community, and this causes them to collapse, causes us to collapse, and causes an escalation of unemployment. Resources will be had for them. Resources from the schools will be there. Resources to start businesses like you've never seen before in weatherizations and things to make certain that we conserve energies. Stores will be able to sell efficient appliances and therefore expand the purchases and hire more people from our community. This is just the beginning of a new, adventurous life that to me is the same as when Kennedy said that we're going to land a man on the moon. And we have to make certain that we coordinate with our local officials and with our local community organizations and with the city's mayor, the borough presidents, as well as the governor. This, we promise you, we will do. The money will be there. The need is there. And seeing this panel here this morning, I want you all to remember today as the day that was beginning of a different life, have a community here. I see Ken Knuckles here. I see people here. I didn't talk about the infrastructure, but enough of the luxury housing and more of those types of businesses that's going to hire our people and our schools return these people, because not only does the bill think in terms of today, but at my age, I'm so sick and tired of having anniversaries of the 100th anniversary of the damn subway, the 100th anniversary of the bridges, the 100th anniversary of things, which is telling me soon they won't be there. This is going to start a new venture as we get investments for our subways, for our mass transit, and for things that we needed all along. In order to get these things, we need people trained to do these things. And I expect the empowerment zone and expanded type of empowerment zones will be able to prepare our young people to do the job we have to do. As you can tell, I'm very, very excited about it. Every week I will be giving a report of the advancements that we're making. I'll be dedicating my time and working with Mayor Bloomberg and our great Governor Patterson. But when it's all over, whoever said it, it's going to be you, and you who've dedicated yourself to our great communities to make certain that we work for the best interests of our particular community. But when the time comes, we come together, Scott, with the type of political strength that our proposals will get a fair advantage over the rest of the proposals we have this day. Have a good conference, and I look forward to your next meeting, and each meeting's going to even be more exciting.